Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. I think we're good. So, woo. As my mom would say, I kind of look like the wreck of the Hesperus. I was at the Goodwill bins for quite a while today. I've got 2 projects for you. I don't normally have multiple projects per video, but I thought I would just combine 2 projects into 1 video this time because, quite frankly, another one was long enough to make 2 separate videos, if I'm being honest. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's go. This absolutely gorgeous transfer is called Menagerie. It is full of bird cages and birds and flowers, and it is just perfect. So I absolutely loved that old alligatory finish that's on there, and I didn't want to paint over it. So I'm using Debbie's Design Diary DIY Paint Salvation Solution in clear to seal that all in and give my transfer something to adhere to. So the cool thing about these transfers with all of these little parts and pieces is that you can cut them up and create endless combinations to come up with different designs. It is very fitting that I am working with birds because we just moved into a new house and there are birds everywhere. It feels like I live in the middle of an aviary. And are there babies in this nest? I don't really know. One other time I tried to use a transfer on a small cabinet that I had not painted. I just wanted to put the transfer on and I didn't know what it had been painted with. It was black and I struggled and the transfer didn't want to stick, which is why I chose to use the Salvation Solution because I don't really know what's on this little table and I didn't want to have the same problem and I didn't want to end up painting. After you get your transfer done, you'll want to do what's called burnish it. I like to use the matte side of that plastic to just go over it, and it ensures that the transfer adheres really well and minimizes any little bit of halo effect you may have. I also like to go over my transfer with a little bit of sandpaper, just a light grit, nice and easy, to give it just a little bit of an aged effect. Are your thoughts, friend or foe? I gave my piece 3 coats of that Minwax matte polyacrylic. You want to make sure that you use a water-based top coat over the transfers, otherwise you're just asking for trouble. I had someone on Instagram ask me if I had considered refinishing the top of the table before applying the transfer because she didn't like those water rings. And to be honest, I love the top just the way it is, and I wanted this piece to have this very rustic, very lived-in look. Okay, so listen, I'm putting up with the birds because I don't have the heart to take the nest down because there might be babies in there, and I love the bunnies. I really do love the bunnies, but they are eating my garden. So I planted a whole bunch of plants that I got at our county cooperative extension. The bunnies think that I planted an all-you-can-eat buffet for them. It's like an open salad bar. So if you have any suggestions on how I can humanely convince the bunnies to eat somebody else's garden, that would be great. Let me know in the comments. So for project number 2, I'm doing a thrifted tray, and we're going to use the Folk Story stamp. And I started off by taking some salt wash, which is a powdered paint additive, and mixing that with, I think it's White Swan, but any of the whites or off-whites will do. And I used a natural bristle brush and just applied the paint, and it's thick and it has texture. And I decided to kind of give this a barnwood plank sort of look.
Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just want to go out and walk with you.
This stamp is brand new. I'm taking it out of the package for the very first time. So before I use it, I want to do what's called condition it, which means I'm just going to take a little bit of sandpaper and I'm going to run it over the stamp, and this makes sure that my paint or my ink or whatever I'm using has something to grab onto.
I just want to see your shadow next to mine.
I always like to do a little bit of dry fit just so I can kind of figure out how I want to work with the stamp before I put any of the ink on it.
Understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me.
The best way to get a good impression is to hover a little bit over your surface and then you drop it like it's hot. I like to use one hand to hold the stamp to make sure it doesn't move, and my other hand to kind of rub it, push down just a little bit to make sure that the stamp makes good contact with my surface. I did a little sneak peek and thought that I didn't have enough contact, and you got to remember too on this project that I have a textured surface with the little lines there, and I have a textured paint finish, so I did have to push down a little bit harder than I would on something that didn't have any texture.
I just want to go out.
So this is no fun, trying to figure out how I'm going to get the stamp into that little spot there. So I just kind of squish it in, push it in, and do the same thing, kind of rub on it. You'll notice I got ink on the side there, and that's no problem. I can either just sand that out or just paint right over it. I am interrupting my own video to remind you that if you need product, whether it be DIY paint or IOD, any of the transfer stamps, molds, paint inlays, I have them all. And you can find them at junkeduphome.com. And I will also leave a link in the description box below. So it's a great way to support me, in addition to, of course, liking, commenting, subscribing, and doing all of the things. I gave my tray a light sanding with some 220 grit sandpaper just to smooth out any rough spots. I had a textured paint finish, so I just want to make sure that this feels good in addition to looking good. Originally, I thought maybe I would just dark wax kind of in the corners, but once I started getting the dark wax on there, I realized I really liked the way it looked with everything being dark wax. So you just kind of have to keep an open mind, and your projects will evolve as they evolve, and it's okay to change course right in the middle.
to resist, got me looking like this, like no one before. 'Cause I must be strong. 'Cause this might go.
You do, however, want to make sure that if you plan on using dark wax, you clear wax first. If you don't clear wax first, especially on a light color like this, and you just go straight dark wax, you're basically staining your paint and you won't be able to mitigate that dark wax at all. So these darn handles, I realized that someone had put them on upside down and I wanted to fix that. However, even after taking the screws out, I couldn't get them off. So I just had to go with it, work around it, and hope that nobody notices that the handles are on upside down. So one of my little secrets when working with dark wax is I like to do clear wax, dark wax, and then clear wax again, especially with a textured finish like this. You can kind of see those two sides there. The side that I've clear waxed on, it takes off all the dark wax that's kind of sitting on top and just leaves it in all of the texture. This was an incredibly simple project, but it just goes to show you that you don't really have to be super elaborate. We don't have to throw everything at a piece, whether it's just a simple tray or a piece of furniture. Things can just be super simple and still be beautiful. I am going to leave you with some images of items that I have created using some other pieces of the summer 2025 collection from IOD. This is the Leonidas mold. I also have a video on that, and I have another video using the Floriography Paint Inlay. I will link both of those in the description box below, and you can check them out. Thanks so much for spending time with me today, and I will see you when I see you.
To be standing